Well, let's bring in that terrific panel now. National Senator Matt Canavan and Sky News host Chris Kenny. Terrific to see both of you. Thanks for your time. Now, let's start with the Albanese government's proposed $600 million integrity crackdown on franking credits. The Splash, the front page of the Australian newspaper today, says that Treasury documents says that this could be deemed a tax increase and a winding back of the dividend imputation system. These are internal documents released under the Freedom of Information Act. Matt Canavan, do you think this is just a small change as the government has presented, or do you think this is something that companies and investors do need to be concerned about?
Well, it only happen here in Canberra, Sharri, where stripping $600 million out of the pockets of Australians would be described as a small or modest change. That's a lot of money, and there's also been seemingly an outbreak of common sense from public servants here in describing this as a tax. It's a $600 million increase in government revenue, and if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck. And this is definitely quacking, this policy, as we learn more about it. The policy effectively, one aspect of the policy means that franked dividends that are returned to shareholders through a share buyback will face double taxation. A cornerstone of our investment system, our tax system, is that we don't tax returns to business twice, like many other countries do. It's a great advantage of the Australian economy and Australian markets, and this principle will be contravened by this policy. And it's just a way of this government to sneakily try to adopt the policies that Bill Shorten took to the 2019 election and were roundly rejected by the Australian people. This is just another promise that they have broken, and Anthony Albanese is quickly morphing into Bill Shorten.
Wouldn't that be a sight? Now, here's the thing, Chris Kenny. You know, Labor says it has to do this because it's got to start cutting back on spending in the budget. It talks about inflation and being a responsible government. But the thing is that the super changes don't actually kick in until 2025, as the government keeps telling us, even though it is being legislated now. So the savings are only going to come into effect in 2025 when inflation is already back down to the target of 2 to 3%.
They're worried about where the budget's heading. The resources boom at the moment, the prices we're getting for resources at the moment are going to look after the budget for a while in terms of keeping up with its forecast. They're worried about where it's going in their second term, if they get to a second term. But the problem here, Sharri, is that they have budgetary problems, and the only thing they're looking at, typical of Labor, is sucking in more taxation. They're just going to Treasury's old bag of tricks to look at where we can get more taxation. What they need to do is curb spending. What they have to do is cut spending. They've just announced a $15 billion national reconstruction plan today. They got that through Parliament. More spending while they try and suck in more taxation. So this is the problem. It'll end in tears, and it's just standard Labor behaviour. Cut the spending instead of looking for more tax.
It also does give the opposition something to fight on. I mean, Peter Dutton and his team have been kind of nowhere for the best part of the past 10 months. Exactly.